Welcome back to the channel. RacerX here, and as you can see directly behind me, that is my 2023 Dodge Demon 170. I am unbelievably excited about this car, as you can probably imagine. I just took delivery of it last week, and I've been working really hard to put the break-in miles on the car, do all the break-in procedures, do it the right way, so that I can give you guys a whole bunch of really cool content coming up very, very soon. Lots of plans for this car. And since I've been driving it, one of the very first things that I noticed about it is how it sounds different than any other like Hellcat or Red Eye, anything that I've driven from Dodge before. It sounds just a little bit different. The blower on it is different. I mean, there are some distinct differences between the Demon 170 and any of the Red Eye or Hellcat variants out there. So today we'll talk about it, and I will let you listen to the exhaust so you can hear exactly what I am talking about. If you guys are brand new to the channel, don't forget, hit subscribe. You can find that right over here, and off we go.
T-minus 15 seconds.
Hopefully you guys were able to catch my unveiling video where I talked about the driving experience of this, or at least my initial impressions when I drove it. And I did talk about the exhaust, but I'm still getting used to the stance on this Demon 170. Man, this thing absolutely looks like a beast with those 17-inch 315s in the rear and this big old scoop in the front. I mean, man, this thing makes an absolute statement. I absolutely love it. Like I said, I'm still kind of getting used to it. It's kind of weird because from the front you see the big scoop, but it doesn't look all that crazy. But when you get back here, oh man, it looks awesome. So I want to give you a quick look at this. And when you look at the exhaust, it doesn't look any different, but my gosh, does it sound different. Now that I've actually got the car home, I can give you a much better look at this monster engine underneath the hood of the Demon 170. First off, I absolutely love this touch from Dodge with the Demon here and the 170. Of course, these blowers are black. That is a 3-liter IHI blower versus what you would get in, say, a Red Eye, which is a 2.7, or a standard Hellcat, which would be a 2.4. So a much bigger supercharger on it. And of course, the power is different on this engine, right? 900 on 93 octane and 1,025 on ethanol or E85, as long as you have enough ethanol in the tank. And it does have an inline flex fuel sensor on it, which I think is really cool. So it knows how much ethanol is in the fuel. So you can run a blend on it, and it actually makes the power go up and down to as little as 900 and as much as 1,025. But you can see how big the intake is on this engine. It is really big. And of course, right here, you've got a bigger throttle body. I like the air grabber hood on this. You can see how it funnels air right here to go in to that air intake. And that's all gonna come from this massive scoop up here. As we know, it is alcohol injected. The block on this one is yellow. It's a little bit hard to see, but you can kind of see it right down in here versus say like the Red Eye, which is going to have a red block. And there are a lot of race goodies that they actually built into this engine. It's a lot more like a race engine than it is a standard production engine to hold that much horsepower, right? 2,500 pounds of cylinder pressure pounding around in there. I mean, that is a lot. So they had to make sure it held together. This vehicle is under warranty and it makes that much power. So let's give a little cold start listen. Well, it's not quite going to be a cold start because I had to move it out here, but at least you get some sense of what it actually sounds like. The tone on this is a little snappier and just a little bit louder than a standard Hellcat or a Red Eye. So we'll go ahead and give it a start just so you can kind of hear it. Sounds good. When you drive around the Demon 170, as I mentioned before, the blower, it just sounds a little bit different. Yes, it is a bigger blower, 3-liter versus 2.7 or 2.4. Obviously, it has a bigger rotor pack in it, which is going to move more air, and it's going to move more air quickly. Plus, a stock Hellcat is somewhere around 11 PSI at sea level. A Red Eye is all the way up to 14. Even the 2018 Dodge Demon, 14 PSI. This one is like 21, 22 pounds, and the blower is bigger. So the power delivery on this car feels entirely different. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this thing down the road just a little bit and let you kind of listen to it. It still sounds distinctly like a supercharged Hemi. That's exactly what it is. So it doesn't sound all that dissimilar from a red eye. It's just a slight little difference. And I guess you would have to have driven a bunch of these cars, which I have, to be able to tell the difference. But I can definitely tell. And when you step on it, I'm not going that crazy. I almost have the car broken in. Over 400 miles. We'll get there here in the next day or two. But just listen to the blower a little bit. Sounds so good. Now it's on deceleration where this thing sounds way, way different than other Hellcats out there. The pops, the cracks, all of the sounds that this car make, it sounds distinctly different than the other Hellcat variants. Just take a quick listen to this. I don't know if this camera can really pick it up. I'm actually getting ready to slow down right here. Like I said, I'm going to stick a GoPro back here so you can hear it. But listen. Oh my goodness. Let me stick a GoPro back here so you guys can listen to this car a little bit better. Like I said, I don't think this camera right here does this car a whole lot of justice. Now, many of you may be asking why the Demon 170 sounds like that when the other Hellcat variants simply don't, right? At least with stock exhaust and a stock tune, they don't quite sound like that on deceleration. I have heard other Hellcats that sounded like that. Matter of fact, my old Hellcat actually sounded a little bit like that. Not quite the amount of pops and cracks that you get with this exhaust, but it did do it. Like I said, a lot of this is done in the tune, and those other variants actually have what's called DFCO, or deceleration fuel cutoff. So as soon as you let off the gas pedal, it's automatically cutting the gas to the engine so you don't hear all that. In this one, they probably aired a little bit more on the side of caution, maybe just a little bit rich after you let off of the gas pedal, causing fuel to kind of pass through and actually hit the hot exhaust parts. And that's what you're hearing. You're hearing all those pops and gargles and all that kind of stuff on deceleration with that extra fuel that's going into the exhaust manifold. It's not hurting the car any, it's just literally how the car is tuned. And I absolutely love the way this thing sounds. And I do have an aftermarket exhaust that's going to go on this that's going to sound even more wicked than the stock one does. I can't wait to give you that. But I just wanted to explain why this particular car sounds the way that it does. Driving this car is so much fun. I'm still getting used to it, but man, I've got so many cool plans for this car because it is so distinctly Dodge and so unique. So I cannot wait to show you guys. And that's about it for this one, guys. Wanted to keep it pretty short and pretty sweet. Just wanted to give you a sense of what this exhaust actually sounds like and how it is different than a regular Hellcat or even a red eye. A lot of pops, a lot of cracks. I love what Dodge did with this car. I have a whole bunch of really cool content getting ready to come your way. We're racing the Plaid very soon. Also, the dyno video, that should be filmed tomorrow and out very, very soon. I can't wait to give you guys both of those videos. Plus, I have a whole bunch of other plans. Let me know what you guys think about the way this sounds in the comments down below, and I will catch you on the next one. So until then, RacerX.